Here we go around this very tricky corner, and they both just get out wide on the grass, no contact. So what's going on, guys? Riotbox here, and welcome back to some more of our 2021 modded career mode for the MotoGP game. And today we're going to be heading into episode 2 of this season 2 of this series, where we will be riding as Jack Miller, trying to take the World Riders Championship. So in the first season, if you missed it, we did take the reins as Valentino Rossi, and I won't spoil that season. Go check it out. But it was a cracker of a season, so go check out those 10 episodes. But for this series, it's half of our usual career mode length. It's only going to be 9 races, and we're doing 1 race per episode, as I explained at the start of the first episode, where we did a pretty good race at Qatar, and we're heading into round number 2 today, which is going to be Jerez. So let's see how we get on. We'll head down to qualifying, get ourselves out of Q1 straight to Q2 hopefully, and then, you know, trying to push for that front row. So the Ducati, it's good in qualifying, but in the race we sort of struggled for, you know, top end race pace. We weren't able to, you know, hit the front and run away, so it's going to be tough in the races. But qualifying, we seem to have that all under control. 1 lap pace is very strong for Miller on the Ducati. So the surprise probably is Nakagami getting that P2, as you can see from the standings on screen. Nakagami P2. Mir, he's out front. Morbidelli's just behind us. Oliveira doing pretty well as well, but Marquez pretty not the best from Marquez. I expected stronger considering the championship fight he put in last season, as well as Oliveira. So Oliveira and Marquez going to bounce back at Jerez. Will we be able to get on the podium again out of Jerez? But let's see. Let's head down to the grid then, and we'll get straight into qualifying. So we made it through into Q2, and our time was a 36.7. So very much front row sort of pace. So let's head out with about 6 minutes to go and see if we can get ourselves on the front row. Can we even get pole position? Let's see, shall we? We're about 3/10 down, halfway through this opening lap. We can go for back-to-back laps, but the rear tyre temperature might be a bit of a concern. Let's see how this lap sort of goes though, and I'm struggling a bit in Q2. Q1 the bike felt alright, but feeling a bit understeery here on this Ducati today. Still 3/10 back, and I've carried that loss since the first sector, so we're bang on everywhere else. It's the first sector where we've lost time. Coming around these final few corners, let's tip it in. On the brakes now as we throw the bike in to this final corner, pick up first gear, launch ourselves out. The Ducati's quick out the corners. Come across the line, then what's it going to be? 36.8. We've brought it back in the final sector, and I completely outbraked myself and into turn number 1. But P4, do we hold that as we end the session? Yeah, P4, look at that, just a 10th off of Morbidelli. Morbidelli takes pole from Oliveira, Mir, and then ourselves at the front of the second row. Nakagami doing pretty well again in P5, but, you know, Marc Marquez only P7. Right then, so the man in P2 there, Miguel Oliveira, he's going to be wanting to take the win today. For me, I'm going to go for a hard or medium compound. I don't know what rear tyre to use. Medium or hard. I'm going to go for a soft front. Soft front. Medium rear. Let's do it. Medium rear. I'll just use traction control to help control the temperature of the rear tyre. Hard front from Morbidelli. Soft front from us. Maybe that's a bit of a risk, but let's see if we can make it work for us. Plenty of mediums out there. But here we go then. We're going to be starting from the front of the second row. Our Ducati is lightning quick at the start, so as long as we launch it okay, then we could find ourselves picking up a few positions into turn number 1. Let's go for power mode 2 off of the launch then, and we are away. Soft front tyre, medium rear. And here you go, the Ducati really kicks in, but Oh, we're a bit boxed in here. It's turn number 1. Lots and lots of contact. Nakagami's trying to make his way through now. Nakagami trying to go underneath of Mir. I'm going to try and switch it and follow Nakagami through if we can. Lots and lots of side-by-side racing at the start of this. Trying to find our way, slot ourselves back into P4. Nakagami's the big winner there. And I'm trying to get underneath of Mir on the Suzuki. That fast turn in Suzuki. Oliveira's hit the deck. There's a huge crash behind. Lots of people off there. And we're going to be going side by side into break-ins though with Mir. We're sticking our leg out. Trying to show some dominance on the circuit. And there we go. We make our way into P3. Morbidelli leads from pole. Nakagami in P2. Making his way up from P5. He is the big gainer at the start of this race. I can hear, oh, Rins, another huge crash. And I think that's Valentino Rossi down as well at the back. Don't know what's going on behind me, but Mir's looking a bit lively. Mir and Pol Espargaro, what a crazy start to this Grand Prix. Right then, let's take a replay from that race start there, because Oliveira hitting the deck at the end of Sector 1. Not what he wants in this season. He had a very strong season last time out when we were Valentino Rossi. You can see we tried to make up the inside and it actually paid off for us following Nakagami's line. But it's around the next few corners. You see Oliveira getting side by side up with us as well. Very, very close racing. And looking very twitchy, our Ducati there. And we're trying to get underneath of Mir. Mir swipes across and what happens? Wow, oh, he's just ran out wide on the grass and it's completely binned him. Completely binned him, and Petrucci's down too. So let's see what happened with Petrucci. He's trying it around the outside of Viñales there. And he's just getting shoved off onto the grass and it's down for Petrucci, joining his factory KTM fellow rider. And he's just, yeah, he didn't even get back up from that. And then let's take a look. See at the race start, Morbidelli very, very comfortable there. Let's see what happens to Valentino Rossi then. He's nearer the back of the grid with Alex Marquez. You don't expect that from either of them, really. But let's see, round these corners, I think he got a little bit tangled with someone. Rins, I think, hit the deck as well. You're going to see it any moment. Here we go, around this very tricky corner. And they both just get out wide on the grass. No contact. Two big-name riders making rare mistakes. Valle gets back up. I don't think the Suzuki gets back up, but Valentino Rossi, not the start he would want to make to this Grand Prix. So back to it then. What a crazy start to this race. As we just take a look at all the replays there of all the action on the opening lap. But Morbidelli leads comfortably. A lightning quick start from him. Decent start from us, but Nakagami now takes the lead into turn number 1. Nakagami, he's going to be the man to beat here, I think. He really could be the man to beat. Oh, making all sorts of contact there. Absolutely almost side swiping Morbidelli. I'm on the grass. Had to be careful there. Really had to be careful. And look, the Hondas are quick. Especially, whoa, Pol Espargaro up the inside. Wow. He really doesn't, he's not holding back. He's going for it. He can see the pace that HRC have here. And Nakagami has taken the lead. And now Pol is fighting his way up through the order. I don't know where Marquez is. Really, really night and day seasons between this season for Marquez and the last season. But we've been demoted to P4 by Pol Espargaro on the Honda there. Surely Pol will be able to get Morbidelli into the final corner, even turn number 1. But I'm finding myself lining up a move almost on the back of Pol. We've got loads of fuel on board as well, so I need to start making the most of this. Maybe it's time to unleash some Ducati power. Let's use power mode 2 down this main straight. 38.1 from Nakagami. We are way off that pace, but going around the outside and out braking Pol Espargaro there. Oh, what a cheeky move that was to get back at Pol, using the strengths of our Ducati. very quick in a straight line and pretty solid on the brakes. So it's just mid-corner grip I seem to be lacking, and at a track like Jerez, it really costs you time, especially if we keep battling. Oh, he's not getting up the inside there. Learning from last lap. But here we go, still power mode 2. I need to try and get past Morbidelli. Bastianini's hit the deck, and here we go then. Trying to get it at turn 6. Danny Pedrosa corner back on the power. Morbidelli sticking it with us into turn 7. Lovely stuff there. So up into P2 now. Careful at this turn 8, but that's where everybody seems to be hitting the deck. It's already swallowed up a few big names, but a few riders running wide making mistakes. Mir's back there in P4-ish, I think, P5. So he's going to be looking to fight his way up the grid, but doesn't seem to be suiting Suzuki this circuit. But Nakagami, he's just, I don't know where he's found this pace. I should have gone for a hard rear tyre. My gut was telling me to do it, but I don't know why I didn't do it. So the rear tyre's overheating. I've turned the traction control up to try and manage that, but not a lot we can do. 38 flat, 3/10 off of Nakagami right now, so much better lap time from us that time round. But you know, Pol Espargaro is through on Morbidelli now, so definitely a Honda track. And for Jack Miller, we're just making it work. I don't know where Bagnaia is. Really don't know where he is. But let's monitor the gap behind. 7/10 to Pol Espargaro on the factory Honda behind. You know he's going to be wanting to beat Nakagami, but I don't think he's going to. I think Nakagami, he could potentially wrap this one up early, couldn't he? He really could. 1.8, still 7/10 back to Pol Espargaro. You know, it's a tough old race, this one. Now the field's spread out a bit. It's about, you know, bridging gaps and riding in sort of clear air. At least for us. Some riders behind won't be, but the start was all touch and go, wheel rubbing, shoulders out, proper racing. But now it's, you know, getting down to business. 1.9. Nakagami's pulled that out by a 10th. Pol Espargaro still 7/10 behind us. So the top 3 running at very similar pace right now. Very similar, around turn 12. But I tell you what, I'm going to run out of rear tyre. I am going to run out of rear tyre. Look at it. I don't know. Ah, dear. Soft front, hard rear would have been perfect. 37.7. He's up the pace again. 37.7 from us. I told you we were all on very similar pace. But this pace is taking chunks out of our tyre life right now. Make it round turn 1. It's a hot old circuit, this, in terms of track temperature, especially when it's proper clear sunny weather like it is today. Beautiful day here at Jerez. But I feel like 6/10, yeah, Pol slowly pulling us in ever so slightly now on this lap. And the rear tyre. It's going to come down to tyres. It really is. It's going to take us a few races to get this win. 2.2, and look at the bike on the brake. 6/10 back is Pol Espargaro. I've got absolutely loads of fuel. I'm going to use it up. I may have to put the traction control up to 4, but I don't really want to do that. I don't like running loads of traction. I like the rear to be a bit, you know, have a bit of character, rather than just be really sluggish as the traction control is just cutting the power as you're asking for it. I'd rather have it so I control it a little bit more, and you know, your rear is a little bit more slidey and there's a little bit more character to it, like I say. But not that much character. The right hand side is just red hot. This power mode 2 on this Ducati is very good. It seems to be keeping us in check. I think we've pulled out from Espargaro maybe a little bit and closed in. 37.8. Yeah, 1.9. We've closed in a tiny bit to Nakagami. I don't know what the gap is behind. But we're on the final lap. These laps have really flew by, and the rear tyre again. The pole isn't too close, so I ain't too worried about it. But I'm just going to have to be careful. We've lost 2 tenths in that opening sector. Tip it into the final corner then. We've ran it so deep. That's not good. Oh no. Pol Espargaro has got us at the final corner. I just ran it deep. There was no need for that mistake. I tipped the bike in and I went to turn in and the rear tyre just felt like it was going to flip the bike round, and I just had to lift off the brake, just to carry on deep and then spin the bike round. But I don't know if it's in my head or what, but I just felt like there was no grip at the rear, and on we went. And Pol Espargaro making it through at the death. So Nakagami takes the win from Pol, then us in P3 once again. Morbidelli P4, Mir P5. Oliveira obviously fell off. Marquez P8, whereas Rossi 17th, Oliveira P19, and 3 riders out of this one. So then the Riders' Championship. I did not expect to be saying this after 2 rounds, but Nakagami leads with 45 points. That's crazy. He's dropped 5 points this season, that's it. And he leads from Mir, who is 9 points back. We're 13 points back. Pol Espargaro making his way up through the order, jumping 4 places there. 17 points back. So this is going to be an interesting season. Nakagami, if he can keep this up, he could win the championship. There's not many rounds. There's 7 rounds to go. So it's going to be an interesting old season. In terms of the team championship, well, it is Repsol Honda that lead by 1 point over LCR Honda. Alex Marquez pretty disappointing for LCR. Ducati, we're 4 points back in P3. Constructors wise, Honda leads over Suzuki and then us. So there you have it. That has been it for episode number 2 of this series of Career Mode, where we're riding as Jack Miller. Can we take the championship for Ducati? And Jack Miller, he thoroughly deserves something this season. But, 2 P3 so far to our name. We need to get a win, especially with only, 7 rounds to go now. So it's going to be a tough old championship, and we can't afford to make any mistakes. But as always, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and make sure you get subscribed for plenty more MotoGP content.